Hey guys, what's up? This is going to be the last video talking about just some beginner programs, but I got to cover a few today because, like I said yesterday, I was going to go into detail about that one and kind of just talk about like what consists of a beginner program, just like cover like that one, and then from there, now I have that template. I'll just go into some other ones that I would recommend. I'm going to talk about one somewhat in depth, but first, I'm going to talk about Starting Strength, which is by Mark Ripito. It is actually the beginner version of the program I'm on right now, which is the Texas method, which he also popularized. I love the Texas method, but I'm actually not a fan of the Starting Strength one. I think it has a couple problems with it. But I'm not going to get too much into what the program is about and stuff like that because there's so much information out there. I'll link the wiki and I'll also plug his book, which is Starting Strength. You can go check those things out if you're interested in them. It is an interesting program. It has a little bit lower volume than strong lifts. Strong lifts was 5x5 for everything. This is mostly dealing with 3x5s. It's very similar, actually. If you look at it, it's probably like 80% like the same stuff as like strong lifts. He changes some things around. I do think it's a good program, which is why I'm including it in this little series. But I don't think it's great for a few reasons. He recommends that you use power cleans, which is an Olympic movement, which I guess his rationale for it is having that in there helps you generate, like, work on your force production, your rate of force production. Gets you a little used to having Olympic movements and stuff in there. So it makes it a well-rounded program. But power cleans are fucking hard. Like, I've been lifting for 2 years. I can't get I don't have the shoulder flexibility to get into that position still. So somebody coming from the couch to the second week of lifting, he ain't going to be able to do a power clean. Not well, anyway. So I really don't like that. So there's ways to replace that and just kind of shift the program into something else. But that just kind of defeats the purpose of using this program. Like, there's other versions of beginner programs that just don't have it, which for that reason I'm going to recommend against this program. Unless you're actually looking or curious about Olympic lifting, or you care about like rate of force production, like if you're an athlete or something like that. The volume in this program isn't that bad. It's similar to the other one where you're not really going to have issue recovering from it. It transitions well to the Texas method, which is what I use for later. So, I mean, I think it's a pretty good program. It's just not exactly what I would recommend. You would want to probably tweak it a little bit, which is fine. I mean, he has the book. I'm sure that just like the Texas method book would have quite a bit of ideas on how to tweak it. So that's fine. Go check it out. The one I'm going to recommend actually after strong lifts is called Average Fucking Program. That's the name of the program. I forget who it was written by. I'll link the forum entry that I found, kind of with like the entire program listed on there. But it's actually kind of a variation of Starting Strength, which is why I would recommend it over it. So the reasons why I really like this program is because it's the shortest of all programs to do. Like, I think you could probably do this program in like 30 minutes. And the benefit of that is specifically like to somebody like, let's say you work a 9 to 5 and your lunch break is when you're going to want to try and fit a workout in. Well, this is perfect. You just have like maybe like eat a Quest bar, go do your workout, have a protein shake afterwards, and you're good to go. You're not going to be tired. It's very similar volume to the other two I talked about already. Uh, yeah, it just has a lot of pros to it. I'm gonna try and keep it short. I'll just link everything. Like every program I talk about, I'm gonna provide a link for it. Uh, just keep in mind that for the accessories, like he doesn't really list how much volume to do on like your chin ups and stuff that he recommends. Whenever you're doing accessory movements, you should just keep it to 8 to 10 reps. And he does say 3 sets, so just 8 to 10 reps of whatever you're doing. So he's gonna have you working with chin ups, and eventually wants you to do dips. First, we'll talk about the chin ups. If you can't do a chin up, which chin ups, by the way, are fingers facing you, not pull up. So anyway, if you can't do a chin up, just go to a lat pull down machine and you can set the weight to whatever you want, and it replicates the chin up like very, very, very similar. So that's your workaround for that, which I love chin ups on a lat pull down machine. And then he wants you to do dips eventually. Like he wants you to start with push ups and then eventually transition to dips when you can do about 15 push ups. Which in a perfect world, I think dips are amazing. But a lot of people have like struggle with them. Like they have shoulder problems, elbow problems. There's a certain percent of the population that can't do dips because of the strain it puts on their sternum. So even though in a perfect world I would recommend dips also, you can really just get by with the close grip bench press. On a scale of 1 to 10, like chin-ups would be a 10. But close grip bench press is like a 9. Like nobody's going to have rotator cuff issues or anything with close grip bench press. Especially for sets of like 8 to 10. You're not going to have an issue at all with dealing with this type of loads. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I think it's a really cool program. I just found it actually kind of researching for this video, and it's a cool variation. Notice it does not have power cleans in it, but a lot of it was actually drawn from the starting strength program. So check that out. Average fucking program, pretty good program, especially very, very, very optimal for the amount of time you're spending. Okay, so I talked about in the last one, I mentioned it briefly, the Ice Cream Fitness 5x5. This one's really, there's a lot that goes into this program. It's very intense. There's 2 different sides to it. There's the bulking one, which works in 5x5s for your main lifts. And then, it also does 2 sets for each accessory instead of 3 sets. I'm sorry, it does 3 sets for all your accessory movements. So that's a lot of volume for the bulking program. Issue's probably going to be recovering from all that, even in a bulk. But it also has the cutting version, which is 3x5 for all the main lifts and 2 sets for each accessory movement. So the volume is quite a bit lower, but you're going to be in a deficit because you're cutting. So it's still going to be, like both of them are going to be very hard. But I think they're going to be optimal. Like if you need it to do the fastest body like recomposition, or like if you want it to bulk as fast as possible, put on the most amount of muscle possible in a short amount of time, like we're talking like 3 months, I think this program is like for sure the best. So anyway, the problem with the bulking one is it's going to take forever. Like when I did this for the first time, it took me close to 3 hours to get through it. And then eventually I got more proficient at it, and I think I got it down to about 2 hours, which he says an hour and a half is all you need. That's bullshit. Like he does not work out in a commercial gym where you have to like fight over squat racks and stuff. So yeah, it's time consuming. The cutting version I would think would actually be, you could definitely do that in an hour and a half for sure, after a few attempts at it. So that's viable for sure. If you want to do like a really fast body, like just cut really fast, I mean, I don't even think you need to do any cardio at all with this in a cut, and you're gonna drop like a bunch of weight, and obviously gain a bunch of muscle with the cutting version. So I think that's really good. Again, I think this is optimal. So you have to read up on it. There's a video that he made, which is like a 30-minute video detailing why he picked each exercise, and he did a really extensive Q&A on the site too. So I'll link that. Check it out. Like, even just out of curiosity, I think it's a really good program. So all these programs I talked about were kind of a mix between strength and muscle. If you're dead set on being a bodybuilder, which I lean against, like, a beginner making that decision, because I think that at the very beginning you can get away with very broad kind of focus. But if you're dead set on being a bodybuilder right from the get-go, and you want to just get into like that type of workout, I would recommend a upper body day, a lower body day, rest, and then repeat. And you just do this like infinitely. There's kind of the bro split, which people talk about, which is usually like 3 to 4 day splits, and it's like body part splits. So let's say your first day shoulders, your second day's legs, your third day is chest, and then your fourth day is back, and then you rest. The problem with this is this is basically, if you count the rest day, which you're going to want because you're not going to work out every single day, this is 5 days before, like, from when you hit the first muscle group to you hitting it again. So the frequency is just too low. So your body's going to respond best to high frequency at the beginning. So I would just construct or find one of those upper body, lower body splits that are probably all over the internet. I'm not really going to include one. I don't think they're worth it. But if you're going to become a bodybuilder, find a split that works on that cycle. Upper, lower. That's it. Like, you want to be as frequent as possible. If anything, yeah, I'd recommend against it, but that's the kind of split that you would want. So anyway, that pretty much covers like all these beginner programs. I'm not sure what I'll do for the next video, but depending what people like and want to know about, just let me know. Try and like or subscribe if you like it, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully.